Gut, wir schauen mal nach. Was hier unten los ist. Oh oh.
There are more up ahead.
From the looks of it, I'd say someone left in a hurry.
Probably right around the time we showed up.
I've seen these before, in the other vault. And if all of those are the same as this, then there must be
hundreds of millions, if not billions. All that remains of the Decon civilization. Distinct person, encapsulated in crystalline form, preserved for all eternity.
I doubt Galvin would willingly leave these behind. So odds are, he'll be back.
Unless this is why he sent Sidron here. What you have to understand is, these life forms were preserved for the benefit of the Decon civilization. As a means of safeguarding the health and well-being of any Decon, should they fall prey to illness or injury. They were never intended to be used for this purpose.
There you are wrong. This was always their purpose, to restore the glory that was lost. Congratulations on your first victory in battle, Captain Rydek. You killed a great many of my compatriots, some that I've known for millennia. Are you proud of how much death you've caused? Each Decon life is precious, irreplaceable. Centuries of knowledge and culture, lost with each one you murder.
I was protecting my crew. It's regrettable to take any life. But when someone threatens galactic civilization, force is the correct response.
And I suppose it worked. For now. Thankfully, I don't have to convince you of anything. We'll all be on the same side soon enough.
You can't just bioform whoever you want. Not without a fight.
Ah, but that's just it. There won't be a fight. In fact, most won't even know what's happened. 1 minute you're standing there as you. The next you're standing here as one of us.
He's talking about mass transformation. That's what the Aphelion was built for.
A transporter. It'll reconstitute your DNA and bioform you into a Decon in the blink of an eye. This is what they'll use as ammunition.
In a manner of speaking, yes. Of course, that's the simple version. But the end result will be the same.
You're talking about a crime against sentient life on a mass scale.
Or an evolutionary process, where the strongest and most capable survive. The Aphelion is on its way here as we speak. Now it's only a matter of time. You can't delay that which is inevitable. Which makes your next decision fairly simple, brother. You are, after all, a portal.
I am.
Your sole purpose is to serve as a guardian of the Decon Empire. But you stand here surrounded not by your fellow Decon, but by members of the Federation. By people who deny our fundamental right to exist. You swore an oath to protect the Empire. And I can only assume that's why you're here.
There is only one true Takan here, and that's Portal. You're a scion, a disgrace to the memory of the Takan, brought back through unnatural means.
I only tolerate your presence so long as you continue to amuse me. Which side are you on?
Captain Rydek, long-range sensors suggest a massive spacecraft approaching in the distance.
The time has come. I hope we speak again, brother.
Estimated time to contact, 6 minutes and counting.
We can't stay here. We have to get back to the ship.
And we have to preserve these souls. We must take them back to your ship.
Those crystals are ammunition to be used against us. We have to destroy them. Bombard the site from orbit.
I'll decide, once we're safely aboard the Resolute. 4 to transport.
You have to hear me out, Captain. I've always stood by you. But if you bring those things on board, I'll have no choice but to resign.
If they're taken to the Aphelion, they will be forced into new bodies, brought back to life in a way they never asked for.
They're not living beings, but they're still dangerous. And if you don't make decisions to protect us, we're gonna end up like Solano. You, me, the entire crew. We're all next.
Two minutes and counting. It's headed straight toward the vault. The Aphelion is coming into view now, Captain.
On screen.
What the?
Arrival at the second vault in less than a minute.
I would remind you, those life forms are Takan, not science. Takan. They're not your enemy.
Right or wrong, history will judge you for this moment.
Ich bin kein Mörder. Ich bin kein Mörder.
Transport the storage crystals aboard the Resolute.
Ich bin kein Mörder.
Did I hear that right?
That's an order.
The storage crystals are on board in our cargo bay.
Thank you. I won't forget this.
I hope you realize what you've done. We don't need another captain who's gonna risk our lives just to feed their ego. This ship and this crew come first.
Lieutenant.
She has to hear it.
Stand down, Lieutenant Bedrosian. It's done.
Yes, Captain. And to think, I used to look up to you.
The Aphelion
Oh, wie sie uns hasst, Alter. Oh, wie sie uns
That
hasst.
bioforming ray, and it's over. Maximum warp. Get us out of here.
Where, Captain?
Anywhere but here. Now.
You did what had to be done with the Tasker. You said you'd avenge her, and you did. The Tasker can rest now. Even if I wavered in the moment, there's no way she saved herself from that ship.
If you believe, I'm sure you'll see her again.
I do. And I shall.
No surprises here. But your shoulder's separated. If you come with me to sickbay, we can get you fixed up in no time.
Thank you. I'll find you afterwards.
You two, check in at your stations. This thing isn't over yet.
Und wo sind jetzt die Kristalle?
You're really making us proud out there, Diaz. The lower decks don't get a lot of glory.
I'm just getting started.
Diaz.
Yeah?
Did you see our people over there? Miranda?
Kapoor, Hauser?
We saw Miranda and Kapoor, but they're bioform. And as far as I know, there's no way to undo it.
It means they're not our friends anymore.
If they attack us?
We'll have to stop them. No matter what it takes.
Ja.
Yeah. I guess we have to be ready for that.
Es tut mir leid.
I can't believe it, but I'm actually looking forward to seeing Chobok. Not that I'd expect this kind of welcome from him, but I can just imagine the look on his face.
You know what? I want to see him too. It'll be nice to get one piece of normalcy.
I'm sure we can count on him for that.
I can't believe it. You evaded the Takan, ejected their warp cores, and lived to talk about it.
That about sums it up.
They're gonna be teaching this at the Academy for years to come. I mean it. Everybody's gonna learn how you pulled it off.
The Academy? Oh, well, I wouldn't know about that.
After this, you'll probably get a personal invitation to show them how it's done. I heard about Belle. Is Miranda?
As far as we know, she's still out there.
Well, I know Captain Rydek will do her best to get her back.
Hold on. Rydek? What about Captain Solano?
He was turned into a Takan. Rydek had to take over. She's a hell of an officer, but none of us have been up against anything like this. No one has. Not in 500,000 years.
Solano wasn't perfect, but he was a good man. I'm sorry that happened to him.
Yeah, we all are. But we'll rally around Captain Rydek. Talk to you later.
It is agreeable to see you again.
Is that so?
It was by no means a certainty that you would return to duty here.
It is agreeable to see you as well, sir.
I concur.
You should know your absence has left engineering terribly short-handed. During your sojourn, this department has fallen unacceptably behind schedule on both regular and irregular duties.
There's been a whole lot of irregularity going around.
I am stating facts, not looking for excuses.
I gotta admit, it's a little flattering that this place went to hell so fast without me. So, I'll take that as a compliment.
I believe factors other than your absence were also to blame. Normally, I would assign you to one of the many pressing repair tasks. But, given your experience on board the Zeldi, I have suggested you join the senior staff briefing as we determine our next course of action.
Oh.
You can commence your maintenance shift afterwards.
I tended to an Elydian earlier. Major Sarlet Arminta.
Ah, yes. I met him at the negotiations.
I never would have imagined I'd be here, on the same ship, working together with our oppressors. But now that I am, I can imagine a future where the Hotari and Elydians are no longer enemies. I'd always hoped for peace, but it seems so far away.
Well, if there's any way I can help, let me know.
I'll take you up on that. It's good to have the support of a Starfleet captain, I'm sure.
It's coming along nicely. Thank you, Tylus. I'll take it from here. We're almost done.
I have to brief Ambassador Spock in a few minutes.
Ambassador Spock can wait. You have some fences to mend. Personally, I'm against the needless destruction of innocent life forms, so I'm glad you transported the Taconian crystals onto the ship. But Lieutenant Bedrosian obviously feels otherwise. And right now, you need the full support of your bridge crew. Being an effective leader requires trust, but an issue as divisive as this can create discord.
I don't expect everyone will agree with my decisions, and she's entitled to a different opinion, but I'll handle Lieutenant Bedrosian.
You'll be fine, just as long as people feel like they're being heard. It's been a chaotic last few days for everyone. You need to name a new first officer in preparation for what's coming. You'll have to work to regain Lieutenant Bedrosian's trust, but if she's removed from consideration, it comes down to Westbrook or Ermot. Obviously, there are pros and cons with each, but ultimately, the decision is yours. Commander Westbrook has seniority and was hoping to be Captain Solano's first officer. Ermot has the knowledge and experience that makes him more than qualified. You really couldn't go wrong with either of them.
At the moment, I'm leaning toward selecting Commander Westbrook as the new first officer.
That would be an excellent choice, considering your history. The crew would respect the fact you chose someone likely to challenge your opinions and present a different point of view. You're as good as new.
Thank you, Dr. Duvall.
Always nice to have a captive audience. You really shouldn't keep Ambassador Spock waiting.
Captain.
I'll meet you inside.
I'm here to officially tender my resignation from the crew of the USS Resolute. I cannot in good conscience continue to serve aboard this ship, not while the interests of the enemy take precedent over the safety of the crew.
Lieutenant, we both know how much we need your help and expertise for the coming conflict. I have no one to replace you.
I understand, Captain, and I apologize, but my heart is not in it any longer, and to stay would be a disservice to us both.
My door is always open if you change your mind.
I appreciate that.
Sie legt das Kommando nieder.
We'll have Ambassador Spock via subspace shortly.
Thank you, Mr. Ermot.
I'll notify Lieutenant Bedrosian we're about to begin.
That won't be necessary.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edsalar have first-hand experience with our adversaries. I thought it advantageous for them to join this briefing. I understand this is unusual, but I trust you have no objections?
Talk about moving up in the world.
These are unusual times, Mr. Chovak.
In all seriousness, what Diaz and Edsalar accomplished aboard the Zeldi is nothing short of remarkable. They're both to be commended, not only for surviving against incredible odds, but for helping our efforts against these scions.
You know, Carter deserves most of the credit. None of us would have made it without his help. We'd all be bioformed by this point.
Well, I could say the same thing about Edsalar here. She deserves as much of the credit as I do.
It's like a mutual admiration society.
Ambassador Spock is ready for you.
Put him through.
Captain Rydek, your recent change in station certainly warrants mention, and I trust you to faithfully execute your expanded duties. Right now, we must keep our attention on the clear and present danger that lies ahead, the Takan and their warship. The closest populations are the Hotari and Elydian systems, and they are likely the first targets for mass bioforming. After that, lies Federation space. I have advised Starfleet Command to send an impromptu battle group to intercept and assist you, but that will take time. You are our first line of defense. And with our shield algorithms compromised, we are at a great disadvantage.
I'm glad to hear the battle group is en route, Ambassador. With what we're up against, we're gonna need all the help we can get.
And you will have it. Remember, our strength is drawn from our ability to work together towards a common goal.
Have we made any progress in finding a way to defend ourselves from the Aphilion's bioforming weapon?
Currently, our shields will not protect us, but I am compiling all of the information the away team gathered on the Zeldi and cross-referencing it against our own as well as Portal 6-3's methods.
The away team is sitting right here. They survived without getting bioformed, so we know it's possible. So, what's the secret? How do we defend ourselves? Is there a weakness we can exploit? Something we can do to avoid getting bioformed?
Well, as simple as it sounds, the best thing to do is to not get caught. Whether it's one-on-one or the whole ship.
We avoided the Takan as much as we could.
But we saw the bioforming, and there's not much you can do.
I found something that might help. It's too soon to say for sure, but we've had some promising indications that Duridium can delay the bioforming process.
Duridium?
It's not a cure. It's not going to bring anyone back we've already lost. But Duridium is a cell stabilizer, so it has the potential to slow down the onset of physical and mental changes, if not entirely prevent them. And it might be the only ship in the fleet with this much Duridium on hand. In fact, a lot of ships wouldn't have any.
You say that it slows the process, but this doesn't actually stop the Takan from taking over, does it?
Correct. I can't be 100% certain, but it appears this is only a short-term solution. Also, it requires a much larger dose to be effective. We don't have enough Duridium on board to protect the whole crew. We barely have enough to protect everyone in this room.
Sounds like it won't do us much good then.
The use case I'd suggest is that it could buy a little time for an officer or a small group to complete a task or mission. But it has to be taken at the moment of exposure to the bioforming mechanism.
Prepare a delivery method for this remedy.
That raises the question, what is the mission?
Assuming the Aphelion uses shields of some kind, I don't expect it will be easy to bypass their defenses.
We may not be able to block the Aphelions' attack either. But if they do strike, we know their weapon uses transporter technology. We might be able to backtrack their signal path.
Like we did to evacuate Captain Rydek from Tau.
Exactly. We could send an away team onto the Aphelion.
So we could destroy it from the inside.
I'm not exactly sure how, but that's the idea.
So it's like jujitsu. We use their attack and turn it against them.
That's the idea.
We'll keep thinking on it. I'd rather not have to take a direct hit to punch back. There might be some other way we can turn their strength into a weakness.
We'll need to prepare a boarding party, if it comes to that.
Petty Officers Edsalar and Diaz are the logical choices to lead any away mission to the Aphelion. They have already crippled one enemy ship. If anyone can do so again, it is them.
This isn't like the engineering mission that took you to the Zeldi. Do you really have some special insights that a tactical team wouldn't?
Doesn't the fact that we're here speak for itself?
Just surviving won't be enough this time.
Sabotage is kind of becoming our specialty. We'll find a way to get the job done.
Well, he certainly has the swagger for it.
If this is the necessary course of action, I support it.
With the help of Portal. He should be part of the away team.
I will compile all the latest data on the tricorders, just in case.
In the meantime, I want you working on ways we can combat the Takan tech. Shields, weapons, anything we can use.
Yes, Captain.
Anything else, Ambassador?
I know this matter is in capable hands. Hold the line as best you can. Help is on the way.
Thank you. I have faith in all of you to meet this moment with the urgency it requires. I expect all of us to give it everything we've got. Thank you, Petty Officers Diaz and Edzelar. You're dismissed.
While we have a quorum of senior staff, there is a procedural element we need to take care of. The Resolute command codes must be transferred to Captain Rydek for control of the ship.
Of course.
Computer, transfer all command codes to Captain Jaro Rydek. Voice authorization Ermot, Echo 4 Lima.
Voice authorization Duval. Beta 2 Yankee.
Voice authorization Westbrook, Alpha 7 Tango.
Awaiting your authorization, Captain.
Voice authorization, Rydek. Alpha 3 Whiskey.
Captain's codes transferred. The updated command structure is incomplete. Please designate a new first officer.
Who is the new first officer?
Please designate a new first officer.
Okay. Ja, diese Entscheidung heben wir uns mal für die nächste Folge auf. Ich denke noch mal einen kurzen Moment darüber nach. Ja, bis gleich oder bis zur nächsten Folge halt.